For decades, Bill Murray was known as one of Hollywood's most unpredictable stars. Fans loved his humor, his strange public appearances, and the mystery surrounding his private life. But suddenly, his name exploded across the internet for a very different reason. Headlines, rumors, and old stories began spreading faster than ever, leaving millions shocked and confused. Some people defended him. Others believed his career was finally collapsing. But what really happened behind the scenes, and why is the world suddenly talking about Bill Murray again? Before the headlines, before the controversy, and long before the internet began debating his behavior, Bill Murray was already one of the most famous entertainers in the world. His face was everywhere. His voice, his humor, and his strange personality made him unforgettable to millions of fans across generations. But the story of Bill Murray did not begin in Hollywood. It began in Wilmette, Illinois, where he was born in 1950 into a large Irish Catholic family. Money was often tight inside the Murray household. His father worked in the lumber business, while his mother raised 9 children. Life inside the home could be chaotic, loud, and difficult at times. Murray later described himself as a troubled kid who struggled with authority. School never truly interested him. Teachers often saw him as distracted and rebellious. As a teenager, Murray used humor to stand out. He learned that making people laugh could change the mood of an entire room. But behind the jokes, there were problems beginning to grow. After high school, he attended college briefly in Denver. However, his time there quickly fell apart. Reports later revealed that he was arrested at an airport after attempting to travel with marijuana in his luggage. The incident became an early warning sign in his life. Soon afterward, Murray returned home uncertain about his future. At the time, nobody could have imagined he would one day become one of America's biggest comedy stars. Everything began changing when Murray joined Chicago's famous improvisation scene. He started performing with Second City, the legendary comedy group that helped launch many future stars. On stage, Murray's style immediately stood out. He was sarcastic, unpredictable, and naturally funny. Unlike many comedians who carefully planned every joke, Murray often seemed completely spontaneous. Audiences loved it. Soon, television producers noticed him too. In 1977, Murray joined the cast of Saturday Night Live during one of the most important periods in the show's history. At first, replacing original cast members was not easy. Fans were skeptical, but Murray quickly proved himself. His strange confidence and dry humor helped him become one of the breakout stars of the program. As audiences watched from home every weekend, Murray developed a reputation unlike anyone else on television. He looked relaxed even during chaos. He acted as if he did not care about fame, even while becoming more famous every week. Hollywood soon came calling. By the early 1980s, Murray had entered movies at exactly the right moment. Comedy films were exploding in popularity, and studios wanted fresh personalities who could attract younger audiences. Murray became the perfect fit. His early films, including Caddyshack and Stripes, helped establish him as one of the biggest comedic actors in America. But everything changed in 1984. That year, Murray starred in Ghostbusters, a movie that became a worldwide sensation almost overnight. Audiences packed theaters. Merchandise filled stores. Children memorized every line. Murray's role as the sarcastic Dr. Peter Venkman turned him into a global superstar. Suddenly, Bill Murray was everywhere. Yet fame never seemed to affect him in normal ways. Unlike many Hollywood stars, Murray avoided traditional celebrity culture. He rarely gave interviews. He avoided publicists. He even became famous for using a strange voicemail system instead of hiring a normal agent. Directors and producers often had no direct way to contact him. Sometimes he disappeared for weeks without explanation. That mystery only made people more fascinated by him. Stories about random encounters with Bill Murray began spreading everywhere. Fans claimed he appeared at weddings, parties, and karaoke bars without warning. Some stories sounded unbelievable. Others became internet legends. People viewed him almost like a myth instead of a normal actor. At the same time, Murray's career continued evolving. In the 1990s, He moved beyond simple comedy roles and began showing deeper emotional performances. Films like Groundhog Day proved he could balance humor with sadness and reflection. Critics praised his performance. Many still consider it one of the greatest comedy films ever made. Years later, Murray shocked audiences again with Lost in Translation. The quiet and emotional role earned him some of the best reviews of his career. Standing on stage during award season, Murray no longer looked like only a comedian. He had become something larger, a respected Hollywood icon. But behind the scenes, not every story was positive. As his fame grew, stories about difficult behavior slowly followed him through Hollywood. Directors sometimes described him as brilliant but hard to control. Co-stars occasionally hinted at tension during productions. Crew members whispered stories about sudden mood changes, angry outbursts, or strange actions on set. Most fans ignored those reports. To the public, Murray remained lovable and mysterious. His unusual behavior often sounded funny instead of troubling. Hollywood itself sometimes treated difficult stars as creative geniuses rather than warning signs. And Bill Murray's image only became stronger with time. By the 2000s, younger generations discovered him through new films and viral internet stories. He became more than an actor. He became a cultural symbol. His unpredictability made him feel different from every other celebrity. But while audiences continued laughing at the strange stories surrounding Bill Murray, people inside the entertainment industry were starting to see a much darker side to the legend. And soon, those stories would no longer stay hidden. But the strange stories surrounding Bill Murray were about to become much harder to laugh at. By the time the 1990s came to an end, Bill Murray had become more than a movie star. He was now part of Hollywood history. His films were classics. His interviews became viral moments before social media even existed. And his strange public behavior only made audiences love him more. But inside the entertainment industry, another version of Bill Murray had quietly followed him for years. That version rarely appeared on camera. As Murray's fame grew, stories about difficult moments behind movie sets began spreading among actors, producers, and crew members. Some described him as a creative genius who pushed scenes to perfection. Others described him as unpredictable and exhausting to work with. Many people noticed the same pattern. When Murray was focused and motivated, directors believed he could completely transform a film. However, when tensions appeared, the atmosphere on set could change quickly. Some coworkers later claimed nobody ever knew which version of Bill Murray would arrive each morning. One of the earliest public examples came during the production of What About Bob? The film became a box office success, but reports from behind the scenes painted a very different picture. Murray allegedly clashed heavily with co-star Richard Dreyfuss throughout filming. Years later, Dreyfuss openly described Murray as difficult and aggressive during production. At the time, many fans ignored the story completely. Hollywood had long protected famous stars, especially successful comedians. Difficult behavior was often described as passion, intensity, or artistic personality. Murray's growing legend only made people more willing to excuse stories that might have damaged another actor's reputation. And the stories kept coming. During different productions, rumors spread about shouting matches, sudden disappearances, and uncomfortable interactions with crew members. Some reports sounded small. Others sounded far more serious. But because Murray rarely spoke publicly about his private life, the mystery surrounding him continued growing. Meanwhile, audiences saw a completely different image. On television, Murray appeared charming and relaxed. Videos of him crashing random parties or surprising strangers spread online and turned into internet legends. Fans loved the idea that a Hollywood superstar could suddenly appear at an ordinary person's wedding or sit beside strangers in a crowded bar. Those moments helped create the Bill Murray myth. To many people, he no longer felt like a normal celebrity. He seemed unpredictable in an exciting way. His strange actions became part of his charm. But for some people inside Hollywood, those stories were no longer entertaining. As years passed, a few actors quietly hinted at uncomfortable experiences working with him. However, most never went into full detail publicly. Some feared damaging their careers. Others simply wanted to move on. Then Hollywood itself began changing. In the late 2010s, the entertainment industry entered a completely different era.